A very good afternoon to the participants once again. I hope you must have given a thought to yesterday's session and you must have already started thinking about how to implement games in your classroom. So, with this, I would like to share my screen. So, I would like to start with section 3 of module 3, that is constructivism in game based learning. So first, let us understand the theory of constructivism in game-based learning. What is the theory of constructivism? Let us learn that. Constructivism theory is basically the social cultural theory that views human development as a socially mediated process in which children always try to acquire their cultural values, their beliefs, and the problem solving strategies that are required through collaborative dialogues with more knowledgeable people in the society. Now, this theory, Vygotsky also lays stress on this particular theory, and he believes that the fundamental role of social interaction in the development of cognition is based on the community playing a major role in the process of making meaning. So we are basically trying to incorporate Vygotsky's theory of constructivism. And as we can understand that Vygotsky's theory is very different from Piaget's notion of children's development. Now, according to Piaget, he believed that development must follow or must precede, not follow, but precede their learning. That is, development of a child should come first before they actually learn something. So Vygotsky argued that learning is a necessary and universal aspect of the process of development, and therefore it is culturally organized. Learning is culturally organized, and it also leads to a psychological development. And he says that social learning actually tends to come before the development of a child, according to Vygotsky, which is very different from Piaget's notion that social development should be followed later, or social learning should come later. In fact, development of the child should come first. So what Vygotsky said, that this development that takes place, of the learning that takes place from the child actually takes place in a zone of proximal development. He terms this as the JPD, ZPD, which is called as the zone of proximal development. In this particular zone, the child acquires information from the more knowledgeable people in the society in the form of exchanging information, in the form of interacting, in the form of observation. And this is how the child acquires information that is required in the day-to-day progress. Okay, so I will be explaining to you about constructivism theory and also the zone of proximal development with the help of an example. So let us take the example of the puzzle game that you played yesterday. Suppose if we introduce the puzzle game in the class, okay, so we can come across two sections of students in the class, or two types of students in the class. The one type of student will be absolutely confused when the puzzle pieces are given to him or her. So that is because the student may not be in a position to fix the puzzle pieces together or to join the puzzle pieces together. This is because the child has not acquired this knowledge before, or the child has not seen anybody playing this puzzle game, or the child may not have observed this puzzle game as minutely as it is required. So therefore the child does not have this idea of how to join the puzzle pieces together. So this is one type of student that is available. The other type of student that is that we find in the class is those students who have some knowledge of how to join the puzzle pieces together. Maybe one or two puzzle pieces he can just put it together by, maybe he has observed someone, or he has acquired this information, maybe through, some knowledgeable person, whether it could be from his parent, or it could be from his teachers, or it could be from his peers. So he has acquired some information of how he can join the puzzle pieces together. Now, as a teacher in the class, when we give the puzzle pieces, we want the learners to join the puzzle pieces and complete the task, right? So what we do as teachers is, we have to, in the constructivism theory, the teacher has to allow the child, this child, okay, children like this particular child, allow this child to go ahead exploring the possibility of joining all the puzzle pieces together. So the child should be given the opportunity to bring in his own strategies or his own skills in putting the puzzle pieces together. Whereas in this particular case, the child obviously doesn't know anything, so he immediately needs the support or the help of the adult or the child. Sorry, or the parent, adult or the parent. So here, in this particular case, this child will require the help of the adult or the teacher immediately. Whereas in this particular case, the child will require help only when the teacher observes that the child needs help in order to complete his or her task. So here what I'll say is, how will the teacher help the children? The teacher will help the children by demonstrating how the puzzle pieces can be put together. So after demonstration, the child who doesn't have any knowledge, who did not have any prior knowledge about how to join the puzzle pieces, will start implementing the strategy as demonstrated by the teacher, and will start joining the puzzle pieces together. In the process, the child might also develop his own strategy in order to join the puzzle pieces together. Whereas this child will need intervention of the teacher only when he requires. But finally, both the children will be able to complete the task independently with some help, of course, from the teacher. And once the child completes the task on his own, he is very happy, he is excited, and he feels content that he has acquired a skill, he has learned a skill. So according to Vygotsky, the adult or the knowledgeable person or the parent has to intervene only when the child requires the help in order to complete his or her task. So this is the zone of proximal development.
Use this because this is supposed to be washed, so you can put your anything over there.
Sorry, is there anybody asking me any question here?
No, ma'am.
Is there anybody asking me a question here?
No.
Okay. Okay, so now I move on to the actual the constructivism theory in explain it to you in a better way, or in a with the help of another example, or in a figure, in using a figure I can explain it to you. So for example, the zone of proximal development, this is the zone, or this is the area where the child actually acquires the skill to complete his or her task. Now in this particular area, the child does not require any help. Without help, he can do the task, and this area is only with help he can do the task. So let me use the figure over here. As you can see, this area is the child cannot do anything without the intervention of the adult, without anybody guiding the child how to proceed with his or her task. Now, this particular area is the area where the child can do something with the help of the adult. And this particular area is the area where the child can do anything unaided. Okay, the task unaided does not require the help of the adult. So according to Vygotsky, the teacher also should implement the theory of constructivism and should allow the learner to reach the zone of proximal development, whereby the learner is able to acquire information from either the peers or the teacher, and
Hello.
if they require the help to acquire the information. So What I'm trying to say is this zone of proximal development allows the child to understand to what extent he is able to use his prior knowledge in order to complete a particular task, and to what extent he is able to complete the task with the help of the teacher. So our aim, according to Vygotsky, the aim of the teacher should be able to guide the learners so that all the learners reach a particular stage where they can become independent learners. Okay. Yes, there's a participant who has raised her hand. Yes, Komal. Yes, Komal.
Ma'am, so this means the zone of proximal development is the stage where actually the child is moving from where he is not knowing anything to where he can get some idea after help. Am I
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes. So the learner, he doesn't know anything and he moves to an area where he can do
Thank you, ma'am.
something with help. And then finally he moves to that area where he can do the thing unaided. He doesn't leave. He becomes an independent learner. Okay, so he becomes an independent learner. Once we use the constructivist theory, we want all learners to become independent finally. So, how to make them independent? We can make them independent only when we want to. We would also like to know as teachers to what extent the learners have prior information. Now, what is happened, let me give you the example of the current, that traditional method of teaching. So what is happening now is we do not actually give the opportunity, to the learners to try and, bring their prior information, whatever prior information they have. We give them ready-made stuff. We give them notes. You take the notes, you memorize, and you come to the examination, you write the answers. Right from early childhood, when the child starts going to school, the teacher gives all ready-made answer to the children. The child is not given an opportunity to form, a sentence on his or her own. The child is not given an opportunity to read the lesson and write the answer on his or her own. So the child is spoon fed right from the beginning, and you are only required to, the child is expected to memorize the answers and come to the examination, and that is how the child, is evaluated, is assessed. So the assessment is based on the memory of the child rather than actual learning that has taken place. So in fact, there is no actual learning when we consider the traditional method of teaching. But let me give you an example. We also learned by the traditional method of teaching. How come, there is a difference in what we acquired and what the present generation is acquiring? What is the difference here? The difference is that when we learn through the traditional method of teaching, the teacher did not give us ready-made stuff. As far as I'm very sure about my teachers, they never gave any ready-made stuff in the form of notes. We had to prepare our own notes. Graduation, post-graduation, whether in school, we had to write our own answers. So answers we had to write. We had to read the textbook and write the answers. And afterwards, if there was some mistake in those answers, the teacher would correct the mistakes and then tell us what is the right answer. But we had to struggle with those answers. We had to actually learn from the textbook itself and learn how to form sentences. Now the learner, nowadays children, they're not required to form sentences at all. They're required only to memorize the sentence construction that is already given by the teacher. In fact, in some of the schools, I have heard that if the teacher has given you some, answers, you have to write exactly the way the teacher has given you. If you write in a different form, then the teacher, marks it that is incorrect or gives you a lower grade. Okay, that is the case. So the opportunity is not given to the child to explore what he or she knows. So according to constructivism, the theory says that we have to allow the child, to bring his or her prior information to the particular task that he is assigned to do, to the particular lesson that, he has to learn. So let him bring his prior information, let him find out what he knows, let him try and do it himself. The moment he's not able to do it, then of course the adult or the teacher or the parent can intervene and then help the child so that the child becomes an independent learner. Okay, I hope you have all understood the zone of proximal development. Okay, now I want to tell you how is the constructivism theory applicable in game-based learning? How is it applicable? When I'm talking about games, how is it relevant in game-based learning? Let me explain to you with the help of an example. Okay, so let us take the example of this game. This is a tennis game. And in this tennis game, you can see the court over here. So we have, a child who is waiting over here with his racket. He wants to play the game. And we have another child. He is also waiting over here. He also wants to play the game. Now, as a teacher, so what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to wait and see to what extent the child can play the game on his or her own. What prior information does the child have about the game so that he can proceed with the game? Now, it so happens that these children, after observation, they must have watched this tennis match over the television, or they must have watched, someone playing the tennis match. So, according as per the observation, they have understood one particular aspect that in a tennis match, the ball has to be moved from one end to the other. That is what they have observed, and that is the skill that they have acquired. So, here also, they try to do that. They play with the ball, moving it from one end to the other. Now, as the teacher is observing, the teacher understands that the child only knows how to move the ball from one end of the court to the other, but does not know how to begin the tennis match. That is, does not know how to serve in the tennis match. So therefore, what the adult does, the adult or the teacher intervenes at this particular point and demonstrates how to serve in a tennis match. Okay, and also gives them a hands-on experience on how to serve in a tennis match. So this knowledge was required, and so therefore the teacher intervened at this particular place rather than intervening at the or giving a series of rules and regulation, or telling the child about the rules and regulation, and in fact like demonstrating right from the beginning how the tennis game should be played. The teacher waits and observes what the child can do, allows the child to experiment with the knowledge that he or she has already acquired, and therefore this becomes a more like a learning process for the child. So here we can say that the constructivism theory is important, because we should allow the learners to actually experiment with the existing knowledge that they have, and so that the learning is more fruitful, and the learning can be actually taken to newer situations, to other situations. They can transfer their learning to other situations, and that is what we want the learners to do, so that they acquire a skill which can be a skill that can be used in many other situations as well. Okay. So now you must be wondering, what could be the role of the teacher in a constructivist class? Okay, the role of the teacher in a constructivist class is that of a guide, of a friend, of a person who only supports the learner whenever the learner requires the help from the adult or the knowledgeable person or the teacher. So helping the learner, guiding the learner, observing the learner, at which point the learner requires help. So it is not an easy task for the learner. You allow the learner to play and you can comfortably sit and have a nice nap. No, that is not the case. You have to, in fact, go from one learner to the other and find out, what difficulties that the learners are facing, so that at any point you might, the learner might require your help, the learner might require your support. So that is very important for the teacher. So now I would like all of you to be ready with your notebook and pen, so because you will be actually involved in a particular game here. So keep your notebook and pen ready. And as you can see, this is a game whereby there are two vowels written over here. Okay, a couple of vowels written over here. Now I want you to use these two vowels to form a word. How can you write a word without a consonant? So I'll be giving you a couple of consonants. You have to use those consonants and these two vowels in order to form a word. For example, I have taken this consonant C and S. I can form a word with this consonant and these two vowels, that is the word case. Another example would be, suppose the consonant H and V I have selected. So I can use these vowels in order to create a word have. So now what I want you to do is, I have given you four, consonants, couple of consonants I have given you. So I want you to select any one pair of consonant and use these two vowels in order to create a word. Now, I want all of you to write these consonants in your notebook so that you can select any one consonant and write the word. Why I'm asking you to write it down? Because in a short while from now, I'll be sharing the whiteboard and you have to write your words in the whiteboard. So you can write the two vowels also in your notebook. You can also write the options that are given here in the form of consonants so that you can use the whiteboard to write the word that you have created. Yes, I think Dipti madam, it's already time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Shall I stop?
Yes, yes, please stop. Okay, very good. I hope you can see the screen once again. You can see my screen, my presentation screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So let me go ahead with this. This is the end of section 3. Now I move on to section 4, that is implementation of game-based learning. So in implementation of game-based learning, I'll be talking about teaching games and testing games. If you recall what we did yesterday, I told you that the teacher has to design educational games. Those are also called as learning games. So when the teacher designs educational games, he has to give a lot of importance to the outcome, the desired outcome. He has to give importance to the learning outcomes from that particular game. So now, as the teacher is designing games, the teacher can design games in the form of a teaching game or in the form of a testing game. The teaching games are those games whereby the teacher incorporates the game in order to teach a skill even before the skill is taught in the class, or a theoretical knowledge of the skill is given to the learners. So even before that is done, the teacher incorporates the skill in this particular game. Whereas a testing game is after you have taught something, because certain concepts need to be taught to the students. So certain things, if you teach the students, you can use it in the form of a testing game in order to find out whether the learners have acquired the concept or whether the learners have understood the concept. So in order to measure to what extent the learners have understood the concept, you can use the testing game. But sometimes you can also combine both the games, that the game could be, the concept could be incorporated in such a way so that it is a teaching game as well as a testing game. So today, here what I'm trying to say is both the games are designed by the teacher, and it is an activity which is incorporated with the element of competition and fun, but it is wrapped up in the acquisition of a skill. So today I will give you an example of a teaching game, and then I will give you an example of a testing game, and then I will give you an example of teaching as well as a testing game. Okay, so now let me move on to the teaching game. So this is a recipe song. So you have to listen to the song very carefully, very attentively, because after the song, it will be immediately followed by certain questions to which you have to answer. Okay, so let me begin the song. You will need a cup of sugar, 4 eggs and a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of orange juice, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and a pinch of salt, 1 cup of butter, 2. Take a bowl and wipe it. Add sugar and butter together. Mix until light and creamy. Oh my, it's a wonderful batter. Separate the egg yolk and the egg white. Beat the egg yolk slightly. Add it into the mixture. Beat the egg white stiffly with salt and lemon juice. Blend it into the mixture. Sieve the flour and add it gradually into the mixture. Now add orange juice into the prepared batter. Mix it with cherries, raisins and walnuts. Freeze and dust a rectangular tin. Pour the prepared mixture into the tin. Decorate the top with fruit and nuts. Oh my, it's a wonderful recipe. Bake the mixture for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, leave the oven door slightly open for 15 minutes. Now your recipe is ready. Can you guess what is the recipe? Oh my, it's a wonderful recipe. So please write it in the chat box. I want all of you to guess the recipe and write it in the chat box. And when you write in the chat box, please use all the describing words that you can think of while writing the recipe, the name of the recipe. You get 2 minutes for this. Someone has written it is a non-veg cake, but as far as I know, I did not incorporate. I incorporated eggs, so that is why it is a non-veg cake. Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am. I also thought so because of the eggs that person has written.
Because of the eggs. Okay, fine. And there are some of them who have incorporated everything that they have heard: sugar, orange juice, cherry, fruit, nuts. Wonderful. I mean, they have really, they must have listened it attentively to the song.
Yes.
On to the, shall we go ahead, madam? Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So we go ahead to the next game, which is a testing game. So in this testing game, it is called as a maze game. You have to read the instructions carefully given in the next slide before you play the game. Okay, so I'll be reading out the instructions for you. In the meantime, Deepti madam, could you kindly share the link in the chat box?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Ma'am, I was having a small doubt on the
Yes.
earlier game. What was the motive of the earlier game, ma'am? The objective of that game about the recipe game?
Yeah. First motive is listening skill.
Yes, ma'am.
You're teaching the skill of listening. Okay. The second objective is you are allowing them to incorporate the describing words. So you are actually giving them the opportunity to use the describing words.
Yes.
So they have to think and use the describing words. They can
Okay.
describe the the recipe song. They can the recipe as a creamy cake. I'm
Yes.
just giving an example. It can be a creamy cake. It can be just an orange cake, or it can be just a fruit cake. Okay, so there are many describing words that can be incorporated. Just simply writing it as a cake, okay, that is not the only purpose. You have to use the describing words. So they are learning the importance of the relevance of the describing words. Okay, so it is a skill, listening skill, that is being taught. And also they are also learning, the children are also learning how to organize, how to logically, prepare something, logically stepwise go through, listen to logical, steps or logical construction of sentences. In this particular case, you are listening to a recipe, but it could be incorporated in different ways also in the class, right? Depending upon your subject, you can think of various ways how you can implement it over here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so this maze game, you will be getting 10 minutes for this game. So first you have to click on the link given in the chat box, and then you have to go to file. So once you go to file, you will find an option download as. Click on it and download a copy. Open the presentation and you will be directed to the presentation mode or the slideshow mode. In the first slide, you will find a play button. Click on the play button. You will then be directed to the slide consisting of 3 bars and some objects moving outside the bars. You have to move inside the bars with the help of the mouse pointer till the end point. However, you are not supposed to click the mouse pointer, but just move it inside the bars. Care should be taken not to click outside the bars or move the mouse pointer outside the bars. While moving inside, you also have to take care not to touch the moving objects. Okay, so those who are using the cell phone, okay, so you will not be able to play this game because this game cannot be played with the help of the cell phone. So you can do one thing, you can play it later. The link will be given to you so you can play it later. So those who are using their laptop or their desktop, you can play this game. So please go ahead and start playing the game because you get only 10 minutes for this game.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I'm actually taking the class from my mobile, so I'm not able to play. But I have a query.
Yes,
Meanwhile, if
ma'am.
you're free, can you answer?
Yes, I'm free. Yes.
Ma'am, the instructions which we are giving for the games.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we supposed to tell the question before the game or after the game?
Questions.
Yeah.
The questions that you incorporate in the game.
Yeah.
No, you are not going to
As if
tell the questions before.
before, right? Yeah, this is what I actually wanted to understand. So you
Uh-huh.
will only give the instructions first, as
Yes.
if like, you have to listen to the poem
Uh,
or you have to listen to the song which I am
uh,
playing.
uh,
And then after you hear the song,
uh.
there will be the question, right?
Yes.
This is how the game is supposed to be
Yeah,
introduced
right.
to the kids,
So
right?
it becomes a
Yeah.
game because it is done in such a manner. It is executed in such a manner because I'm incorporating some famous song I'm incorporating in this particular recipe. So when the teacher incorporates, it becomes enjoyable for them because they're listening to a song. It is song-like, and therefore they're listening to a song. And it is fun also because they are trying to understand the listen to a recipe. So they do not
Yes, and
understand.
I guess that will make the kids, from the kids' point of view, they will become very inquisitive to actually know, because they don't know the question, so they'll listen to it more
More
carefully,
carefully, more attentively.
because
Yes.
yeah, more attentively, because they know anything could come ahead.
Yes.
But if we introduce the question, then they may only search for the answer and not the
Yes.
entire song or entire game or entire thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Like yesterday also I did one listening activity. I incorporated a song.
Yeah, the
Okay.
physics song.
The physics song. That was done differently. You could also do it in this way. So
Okay,
both
ma'am.
of them are teaching skill. That is also a teaching skill. This is also a teaching skill. Both of them are teaching skill.
So it would the game or the teaching skill would change according to the audience or the students, which is
Yes. For
right.
smaller children, for younger children, I think if you incorporate if you want to teach the skill of listening, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it just now. And if you want to go to older learners, you can incorporate it in the form of this recipe song, that I have done it And yesterday physics song that I have actually given a demonstration of, that was for older learners. That you could do it for older learners. Even that type
Yes,
of
ma'am.
activity, I do it for my students also, for the engineering students, for the undergraduate students of engineering. I have done it for my students also.
Yeah, I remember I have done it for my students. When I was teaching them history,
Hmm.
capital states and capitals.
Hmm.
So I just gave some rhythm for them to memorize it, because when they do it in rhythm, it is easy for them to memorize all the
Yes,
states and the
yes,
capitals
exactly, exactly.
together.
So for older children,
Thank you, ma'am.
for younger children, you can do it in the recipe, because they will have fun.
So,
Time is up. Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed this game. Were you able to play this game? I mean, comfortably? Any difficulties in this game? No. Okay. So I'll move ahead. So now I'll give you an example of, yes, it was fun. Okay, fine. So now I'll give you an example of a teaching game as well as a testing game. It is a teaching as well as a testing game. So it is called as a game of synonyms. So again, you have to read the instruction carefully given in the next slide before you play the game. So you get 5 minutes for this game. Again, you have to click on the link given in the chat box. Dipti madam must have already posted the link in the chat box. So you have to go to file again. You'll find an option download as. Click on it and download a copy. Then open the presentation and you'll be directed to the slideshow mode. In the first slide, you will find a play button. Click on the play button. You will then be directed to the slide consisting of cards. Behind each card, you will find a word written on it. You have to select the pair of words having similar meaning or the nearest meaning. Once you find the correct pair, click on both the cards. If your answer is correct, the cards will disappear. With the selection of the wrong answer, the cards will remain in the same position. Yes. One more thing I would like to say, that you need to have your notebook and pen with you, because once you know the meaning of both the cards, you have to write the meaning, write the words, because immediately after you play the game, a Google form link will be shared with you. So you have to write your answers in the, tick your answers in the Google form as well. Participants, this is the Google form link. You have to click on this link and you have to complete it. Is up?
yeah.
Okay. So now we move on to the next part of the presentation. That is, can we design games with different learning outcomes? The answer is yes. If you recall the game that we played yesterday, that is the puzzle game. So we are going to use the puzzle game today. Okay. Now in this puzzle game, I want you to tell me, which learning outcome did I achieve when I introduced the puzzle game yesterday? So you get 1 minute to write your answers in the chat box. These are the learning outcomes. So which learning outcomes did I achieve while introducing the puzzle game? You get 1 minute to write the answers in the chat box. So I would like to say that in this particular game, I tried to achieve the outcome called understanding, because you have to understand the game first, and of course the questions also, and then you need to analyze the questions, because you have to read the cover page and the contents page of each book, understand them and then analyze them, and then you can also evaluate your own analysis whether your answer is correct or not. So from the lower order skills, I have moved on to the higher order skills. Creating is not included, because I'm not asking you to create a puzzle game. I'm asking you to, first of all, find the answer, analyze the context, anticipate the answers, and then evaluate your own answers. Okay. Now we move on to the next game that we played yesterday. That is a game on spinning wheel. And with this game also, I would like all of you to identify the learning outcomes that I tried to achieve in this game. So again, you get 1 minute to write your answers in the chat box.
Ma'am, time is up.
Okay, so time is up. Now let us see what I tried to achieve. I tried to actually give importance to the skill of remembering. So the student has to remember the grammar that has been taught by the teacher in the class. Okay, and then the student has to understand what has been taught by the teacher in the class, and the student, after understanding the concept, has to apply it to newer situations. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go to the lower order skills in this particular game. So the lower order skills are tapped in this particular game. So it's not that we have to ignore the lower order skills completely. We also need to give importance to the lower order skills. But if we can move from the lower order skills to a higher order skills, it is a very good thing. But now, nevertheless, these lower order skills are equally important. So thank you, participants, for giving your answers. Now I would like to go to Komal Madam's question. Komal Madam, could you please, clarify your question? Because you have said if the students don't know about the personality, how we can move correctly. I did not understand that part. Komal Madam, can you please unmute yourself and clarify your question, please? Komal Madam, can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Ma'am, I mean to say, ma'am, like if a child don't know about the personality, so how would he will be able to arrange things? So if he is knowing who is Abdul Kalam or who is that personality, he will immediately create an image of that person in his mind. So remember karega. Then after understanding the scattered parts, he will be able to apply his knowledge, the image which he has created, और उसको
my game was
analyze
totally
करके.
different, no? The game that I asked you to play yesterday, the puzzle game, that was totally different. The puzzle game was not only intended to join the pieces together. The puzzle game had a purpose. Assuming that the learners may not know who is Abdul Kalam, who is the image of Abdul Kalam, he may not be knowing, or the image of Bill Gates, he may not be knowing. Assuming that, I have created the puzzle game in such a way so that you need not know that who is the image of Abdul Kalam need not be there in your mind. You have to find the answers. The multiple choice questions are given. You have to find the correct answer. Write it down, or you can remember also, whatever you can do. And then you can just select the puzzle pieces where the number is also given over there. And accordingly, you can join the pieces together. Right?
Yeah, ma'am, then it's correct because I was thinking from different perspectives. So
Okay.
according to that, it was.
If what
Thank
you're
you, ma'am.
saying, if you do not include the way I have done it, for some of the learners it could be difficult, because if he or she doesn't know about the personality, then of course it could be difficult. So I have done it in such a way so that you do not need to know about the image of the personality need not be there in your mind. You can just join the puzzle pieces together on the basis of the answers that you have selected as the right answer.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So we now move on to the next aspect. Thank you so much, participants, for giving your opinion. Okay, so now I'll move on to the benefits of game-based learning. Not only game-based learning, I would also talk about the benefits of incorporating reflective strategies, because that is also an important aspect in online games. So whether it is the reflective strategies or the games, because immediately after games, we will be definitely required to incorporate the reflective strategies. In both the cases, the learners are involved in the learning process. They're actively involved in the learning process, and they are also motivated to learn. They become more focused. They start concentrating on whatever has been taught, or whatever they can acquire information. from maybe, observation or from books that they have read. They become more responsible in the learning process. And because of games, the atmosphere changes from a formal atmosphere where the learner has to sit in a particular manner and be attentive while the teacher is teaching. This atmosphere changes to an informal atmosphere where the learners have the possibility or the flexibility of interacting with their peers, of talking to their peers. So there is a lot of fun and enjoyment. They can express their emotions in whatever form they want. And this actually allows them to get exposed to multiple views. They can assimilate multiple views because every learner will come up with their own view of how they have played the game, will come up with their strategies. So they are exposed to different strategies also, how each learner incorporated his or her strategy in order to complete the task, in order to play the game. And then the learners can definitely cultivate critical thinking. That is very crucial. So along with critical thinking comes also reflective thinking. You can reflect on the mistakes that you have done so that you can rectify the mistakes on your own. You can go back to what you have done, and that will also help you in the learning process. And you can develop independent learning strategies from what you have heard from the other learners. You can acquire those strategies. You can try and reformulate the strategies in your own way so that you can conveniently use these learning strategies in different situations. In fact, using reflective strategies, using reflection or incorporating reflection is, in a way, it is a learning strategy, because you are trying to identify, you are trying to evaluate your own learning, to what extent you have learned. Okay, so here I've complete with section 4, that is my implementation of game-based learning. Now I move on to section 5, that is hands-on experience in designing games. I'm sure you must be all looking forward to this. Okay. So here I take you to the PowerPoint games that I have designed. And as you might be already having an idea, that these PowerPoint games were designed using animations. Now, incorporating animations is not an easy task while designing a game, because first of all, you have to learn how to use the animations. To give you my experience, I would say that when Dr. Arun Pillai sir approached me to be a part of this course and asked me to introduce online games, I was a little, doubtful as to how I could incorporate these online games, because all the games that I've incorporated so far, all these games have been physically implemented and experimented in the classroom with the undergraduate students of engineering. So when I was doing it physically in the classroom, I did not face so much difficulty in designing the game. But using the computer to design online games, of course, it is a challenge, because first of all, I did not know anything about animations. So therefore, what I did was I went to the YouTube, and there are many YouTube tutorials available where they teach you how to use animations and what are the effects of those animations. So once you learn what are the effects of the animations and what kind of animations can be used in certain occasions, then accordingly you can incorporate those animations to design your own game, to think of a game and design your own game. So learning those animations is indeed time consuming and a tough task, because you have to refer to the YouTube tutorial again and again. You have to really understand, and then you can incorporate those animations while creating a game. The next is, it requires effort. As I told you, it is time consuming and it requires a lot of effort. You have to be a dedicated person, and moreover, you have to actually concentrate and spend a lot of hours trying to incorporate animations or design a game, because first of all, you have to have an idea in your mind in order to use animations. So right from starting from the idea to the execution of the idea, that indeed is a difficult and a tough process. So, but I would definitely say that I was very content with the games that I created, because it involved creativity. I could create my own games, I could bring my own ideas, and therefore I was really very happy and content, because I could use my own creativity. I could use it to any extent, and that is what is satisfying in a PowerPoint game. So now I would like to talk about the other games that I have experimented with you, especially the Edu Candy game, the Knots and Crosses game. The Knots and Crosses game, as you could see, it was a game that I took it from a customized website. And such games, are very easy to make because they are ready-made. Okay, so the game is already created in the website. You just need to incorporate the questions. So therefore, it becomes very easy to incorporate the questions, and it is not time consuming at all. It will just take you 5 minutes. If you go to this particular website, it will just take you 5 minutes to create a game, and it is therefore very easy. But then there is no scope for creativity. So you are not able to create, you're not able to bring in your own ideas when you go to the customized websites. Now let me give you an example here. If you recall the game that we played today, the game of synonyms, or the game of cards that we played, this game was created in the PowerPoint, and which requires a lot of thought, as I told you. And whereas a similar game can be created when we go to the customized websites. So I'll be showing you one of the customized websites. But before that, I would like to give you a little bit of warning here. When you go to this customized websites, there are certain, the pop-ups come in related to an advertisement. So I request you that please do not click on those pop-ups. You have to close those pop-ups. In fact, you can also install ad blocker, okay, in your, as an extension for your Google Chrome, because these ads, they contain, viruses. So if you click on that, your computer might be infected. So if you add an ad blocker, it will be safe, as I have done in my case. So what I'll do is I will go for a new share, and I will show you the customized website that I'm talking about. Here, what you have to do is you have to go to Google Chrome. You have to open a new tab, and over there, you have to write HTTPS match the memory. Okay. After HTTPS, you need to insert a space and then write match the memory without any space, and then click enter. The moment you click enter, you can see this match the memory home. So click on that, match the memory, and then you are automatically directed to this website whereby you can create games. So because I have inserted an ad blocker over here, the ads will not pop in over here. So I am safe. So you can do the same thing. So here what I have to do is I have to create my account. So what I have to do is when I go to my account, I click on my account over here, and already my account has been created. So if you have to use this particular website in order to create games, you need to create your account over here and then save your account. So now since I have created my account, so I just need to click on create over here in order to create a game. So I click here, create, and then I'm directed to this page whereby you can see a column called address. Here I need to write down the title that I would give, the name of the game. So I'm just selecting a random game, a random title. Okay, so W and X I've selected. It is a random title that I've selected. You can be more specific about it. And then there are a number of pairs are given over here. You can either increase or you can decrease. It all depends on you. Since it is for demonstration, so I have selected only 4 pairs. And then I select on landscape. Okay. Because portrait, the words the size might be smaller. So I select landscape. And then after that, I have to select a particular theme. So if I select this particular theme, it's all right for me. You can select any theme. Everything is available over here. background color is already suggested by the website, so I do not need to bother. Even the text color is already suggested, so I do not need to bother. Now, related to the font size, I will increase the font size. So I will go to, for example, I'll increase the font size to 53, and then I have to select the font style. So font style, I'll click here. I can click this, okay? So yes, that is my font style. And then I can go to the card type. Now the card type is here, it is written only text. Only text means it will be only for one card. But if I want to, since I've already selected pairs, so therefore I have to select a card type that I have to incorporate in both the cards. So I have to select text for pair A and text for pair B, so that if I select this, automatically two pairs will be visible. The back card type, since do not have any pictures, I'm not incorporating any pictures, so therefore I will select text only. And then I will go to the text placement. I will prefer the text should be placed at the center, so I will select this center, and then I will select create game. And once I select on create game, the website tells me that the game has been saved. And so what I need to do is I need to incorporate my questions. So I go to cards, I click on cards, then I click new pair 1, and here I have to incorporate the questions. So for the first pair, new pair 1, I have to write my text over here, the question over here. So this is already selected. So what I will write is, I will be dealing with opposites. So I will write opposites. I'm writing simple words. So first text, I will write fat. And then I will write for card B, I will write thin. Okay, and then I will click on this center, and after that I will click the background color. So I can select, the options are given. I have to select the same background color. So I select the same background color, and then automatically I go down in order to find out if everything is all right. Everything is fine. And I don't need to bother about this because I've already selected that the text should be at the center. So I don't need to bother about this. So I go to new pair 2. So when I go to new pair 2, automatically, again, I have to incorporate the question here. So here I write kind, and in the next pair I write cruel. And then again, all this is selected, but I need to select the background color again. So I go there, I select the background color. And then again, I go to new pair 3. So new pair 2 is also added. Now it is new pair 3. You can see both the words are added over there. Here they are added. A new pair 3, again, I write broad over here, and then I write narrow. Then again I select here, then the background color, and here background color I select. Then I go down and I select new pair 4. So you can see the 3 pairs are added. New pair 4, I select this long, and then I select right here short, and here I click at the center, go to this background color here, and then I have completed this. If you want to add more cards, you can click on add card. Automatically you will be directed to a new card. So now, as a demonstration, I have selected only 4 cards. So then what I'll do is, once I've incorporated my questions, I will select play. The moment I select play, you can see this game. And suppose if you want to play the game and see, suppose I select this card, it's narrow. I have to remember that once I click this card, it is narrow. And once I select over here, it is short, so automatically they'll disappear. So in the next card, if I select, it is fat, okay? And suppose randomly I come here, it is cruel. I have to remember the cards. And here if I select, it is broad. And if I remember that the first card that I clicked on was narrow, so if I click here, so this is the correct answer. Now here it is long, and if I recollect, here must be short. Yes, I get the answer right. Here is thin, here is kind. So I think I remember seeing fat over here. Okay, so it is thin. Yes, so I know that these two cards, they should match. So the time will be displayed, how much time you took to complete the game and how many times you flipped the cards. Okay, so that is a very good way of analyzing your understanding of the words or understanding the concept of opposites. Now, this game, even though the website has said that this game is saved, they have saved this game, but it cannot be saved for a very long time. So therefore, in the website also there is a suggestion that if you want to play this game later, you need to change this game into an HTML. Okay, so what you have to do is when you change it into HTML, you can then upload it in your drive, and from the drive you can get a shareable link and you can share the link with your learners. So in order to create an HTML, I will show you how to do that. So first I click here. Yes. Now what I have to do is I have to copy this link over here. Copy. And then I minimize this. Okay. Now I have to share my desktop. New share. I go to my desktop and I click on share. So I have now what I have to do is I have to click on new. I hope you can all see my desktop.
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Yes, okay. So now what I have to do is I have to click on a text document. And text document is a notepad. Then I click here. Yes, the text document is opened. Are you able to see the text document notepad?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, thank you. So now what you have to do is you have to write the HTML code. So first you open and then you write I frame and space and then write src, that is a source, is equal to space, then open quotes, and then you need to copy the link, paste the link that you have copied. So you had copied the link, now you paste it, and then you close your quotes and then include space and then write WIDTH with space is equal to, again space, and then open the quotes and then write 1, 3, 4, 5, then close the quotes, again space, then write HEIGHT height, space is equal to space, again open quotes, write 600 and then close quotes, again space, and then you need to close this, again you need to open this, write I frame once again and then put a slash. Okay, this is the code which will change your game. You can save this game in HTML format. So for that, what you need to do is you need to go to file and click on save as. Once you click on save as, you will be directed to this particular screen. And here what you have to do is select the text document and click on all files, and then you click on here encoding and write ANSI, and then in the new text document you write over here W and x dot html, and then you click on save. So as you can see, it is already created. So I minimize this. Can you see this? All of you can see my desktop, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to click here, double click. And the moment you click, okay, it has already opened. Okay, so you can see this game has already opened. So you are directed to this game, match the memory. This is your game. So what you can do is you can upload the game in Google Drive, and then you can get a shareable link and share it with your learners. Okay, this is how, this is a customized website where you can create a memory game using this customized website. So I hope you have all understood. Any questions here regarding this particular game? Do you
Ma'am, I
have?
have a question.
Yes, yes. One minute.
Right.
Just come. Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I just wanted to know that in order to play these games with the kids, do they have to download it every time
Uh,
and then play, or is it,
no, no, no.
possible for
For
them
this,
to play directly?
no, no. For this particular customized websites, you don't need to download the game. Once you give the link, automatically once they click on the link, they're directed to that game.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
here in the customized website, download is not required. Download is only required when you create a game in PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. All right, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
so that also I'm trying to show you how to
Mhm.
create a game in PowerPoint, how to upload a game in PowerPoint. Okay, first I will show you how to create the game, and then I will show you how to upload the game in PowerPoint. Okay,
All
so
right,
that you
ma'am.
can get a shareable link, because the games that you create in PowerPoint cannot be shared in the drive, because the moment you use animations, because you must
Correct.
have observed that in Google Sheets, when you create a game in Google Sheets, there are limited animations available when you go to the drive and you create a game. In fact, in PowerPoint also, if you create in Google, you will find there are limited facilities available. There are more facilities in Microsoft Office. So therefore, you have to, when you upload the game using a PowerPoint, you have incorporated animations. Most of the animations will start misbehaving, or some of the animations will disappear. So therefore, you have to upload it in cloud. I will tell you how to do that. But first, let me teach you how to create a game in PowerPoint. Now for that, I have to contrast, I have to show the difference between the game created in customized website and the difference between the game created in PowerPoint. So here I would like to take you to again to Google. Okay, so I would like to take you to this EduCandy website.
Ma'am,
Query,
not
ma'am.
see.
Uh, one,
Sorry.
I was having a doubt. Now, when you mentioned Microsoft Office, we will have to take in the
Uh,
paid version right now, ma'am, because I think in
no,
the
no, no,
non-paid
no.
version, it doesn't allow us to use all the animations. There are some
Uh,
premium animations. Sometimes they ask for a
no,
premium payment, which is there. Is it so? Do
no, no,
we?
nothing like that. Even mine is, I mean, you're talking about Microsoft Office, you're talking
Yes.
about the, no, 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 mine is also not paid.
Okay.
Mine is also not a paid version. So whatever animations is available, I'm doing with that. Only with whatever animation. I don't know if the paid version will have more animation, that I'm not sure of. But
yes,
whatever
I believe so, because I also was trying to make only for a normal presentation. Also, there are certain icons or certain images or shapes that are very much restricted only to the premium user, but not to the yeah. So that's the reason I was having.
Okay, because I am myself not a premium user.
Okay, okay, then it's
okay, fine.
Thank you.
So okay, let me show you this EduCandy game. 1 minute. Let me go to Google. Uh, just a minute. I will stop share and then I will go to Google. Just give me a minute. Just a minute. I have opened Google. Just a minute. Yes. Okay. So first, again, can you see this Google screen, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay. So sorry for the delay. So again, I'm taking you to another website, that is EduCandy. EduCandy. So I will go on to, okay, my activities. Fine. Username. I have already created an account over here. So I just need to log in. Okay, you can see this website. So when you want to create a game in EduCandy, you have to first create an account of your own so that you can create a game. Okay, so as you can see, there's a list of words, matching pairs, quiz questions. Suppose I select on words. The moment I select on words, it will show me create a new list of words. So if I create a new list of words, what I have to do is I have to write my activity name. So my activity name is word search, and then I have to write the subject. Suppose I write English, and then I click on create. The moment I click on create, certain options will appear. That means I have to add a word. Suppose randomly I'm adding these words, kind, and then I add word. Then I add beautiful, add word. Okay, sorry, I need to edit this. So if I edit, click on edit. So I write over here, L, yes. So I update the word and then I go to the next word. For example, I write narrow and then I add word and then another word I write um, S-O-F-T, soft. I add word. So I'm adding only 4 words. Now, for this, I need to select in what form I want that a particular game. So suppose I select word search. I select word search, and immediately the game will be created in that format. So I just need to add the words. So the game is created. So I want to play now. So what I will do is I will click this 4 dots available, and so automatically it changes to the full screen mode. And now these words, soft, beautiful, narrow, kind, they're all written over here. Now I need to search them over here. So uh,
Malvika, ma'am.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll try to find it. Only one word I need to show them how to
Yes,
find
ma'am.
it.
Beautiful is there.
Beautiful.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
soft is
Soft
just
is there
on the
in
third
third.
line.
Soft also you can see.
Yes, on
Yes.
the third line.
Yes.
So it is in the soft I can see. So what I will do is I'll just drag it over here, soft. Okay. So I'm just showing you example of one word. Even beautiful I can see. Here is beautiful. Yes, I can see beautiful also. So what I'm trying to say is this same game, if I want to create it on PowerPoint, I can add my own creativity while creating the game. It will be a word search, but then it will be in a different way. Now I'll show you so that you get a feel of what is the difference of creating a game in the customized website and what it is to create a game in PowerPoint where you can add your own, imagination, your own creativity, and you can also, be very particular about the learning outcomes. So that is very important. So let me click exit over here and I minimize this. And now I go on to, um, I go to new share and I go to PowerPoint here. And first what I do is I click on file and I say new blank presentation. And in this blank presentation, I need to share it again. Yes. Now, as you can see in this blank presentation, what I need to do now is, all of you can see the screen, right? Blank presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. You need to go to layout, and in the layout, you need to select blank. So all this will be removed. And here you need to click on insert. Once you click on insert, you go to shapes. And here I select the rectangle shape. And then I create a rectangle. And here what I do is I click on shape effects, go to preset, select whatever I like. Suppose I've selected this. And then again, I go to shape effects and then I go on to soft edges. And in soft edges, I select 50 point and then I go to shape outline. I select no outline. Then I go to shape fill and I select a particular color. Suppose I select this yellow color. And so one box is ready. So now what I do is I click here and then I click on control. I keep my control button pressed and then I drag it here. So there's another box I've created. Again, I drag it here. I keep pressing the control button. Okay. Again I click here. Again, I click here. Okay, now everything is done. One row is done. So what I do, I click on Control All and then I click Control G. And so once Control G is clicked, all of them are grouped. And then what I do is I click on Control again, select this and I drag it down. Again, I select this and I drag it down. Again, I select this and I drag it down. Again, I select this and I drag it down. Okay. Now what I do is, again I press Control All, everything gets selected, and right click, I go to Group and click on Ungroup, and then I select Control All and I go to Home. I select the font style. I want to change it to Georgia. Okay, and then I select the font size. I want to keep it as 40, and then I select the color. I want to keep it black, and then what I do is I have to write the alphabets over here. So before that, I want to make certain changes in the game. So what are the changes I would like to make? So I go to another slide, and then again I go to insert and go to shapes here. I again go to the rectangle shape. Here I create one shape here, and then I go to shape effects, again preset, and shape effects, soft edges, 50 point, shape outline, no outline, and then I go to shape fill. I select a color. Okay, so the color did not come. Okay, so I need to select the color again. Shape effects, preset. Okay, so it has come. So now what I'm going to do is, again I'm pressing Control and I'm dragging it over here. Okay, so now what I do is, again I go Home, I select the font style and I select the font size. Yes, it is done. So, and I also select black. So when I write, so here what I'll write is, I will write, okay, this has to be black, this has to be Georgia, this has to be 40. So if I write ACROSS across, DOWN down. Okay, so now what I have to do, I have to go to insert a text box, and here I write the question. Another text box I add over here, and this question I write, what is the opposite of the word cruel? So here, just for demonstration, I am adding only 2 questions across one down one. You can add as many questions. You can also incorporate the questions in a diagonal manner. So once I have incorporate these questions, I need to write the answers over here. So for that, I will go here and then I will write I have done this. Now, how will the student select this answer, the correct answer? That also I need to do. So again, I go to insert, I go to shapes, and then I select the rounded rectangle. And what I do is I create this shape. You can see this yellow button over here. Click on this yellow button, drag it till it becomes round. Again, go to shape effects, go to preset, select this, go to shape effect, soft edges, 50 point, then go to shape outline. So here I will say outline is required. So I click on black. Now I want to increase the weight of the outline. So I will go to this particular option and then I will go to shape fill. I will select no fill. And here what I have to do is I click here and I drag it over here in order to fit this grid. So if it doesn't fit, I need to extend it here. So it gets extended. And this is how. And then next I need to drag it here and place it over here. Now what I do, I click here, press Control, and I create a copy of this. And then I go to Arrange, and then I go to Rotate option. In the Rotate option, I click Rotate Left. And then again, this also, I drag it over here. Yeah, it fits perfectly. So this is fine. And then I drag it here and I place it here. So if the students, they know the answer, they can drag this and can indicate that this is the answer that they have got. And the rest of the alphabets, I can just incorporate it. I can also increase the size of the box. Okay, I can reduce the font size and I can increase the size of the box, the number of boxes. Okay, so this is how, you know, the game of word search can be a little more challenging for the learners, because instead of just, you know, incorporating the words at the right hand corner and asking them to search the words, they can actually, you know, it can be done in the form of a puzzle. Like we can incorporate the questions. I have incorporated very simple questions. You can incorporate slightly challenging ones, so that the learners, they get interested, they also know the answer and they have to find the answer as well. Okay, so any questions related to this game? So I hope you've understood the difference between both the games. A game created in PowerPoint can enable you to bring in more of your creativity, more of your imagination, as well as you can be more specific about the learning outcomes that you want to achieve. Whereas a game, you know, created in the customized website, you have to be, you know, like you know, give more importance to whatever the game is available. So you may not be able to create something new out of that game. It is already pre-decided. Okay, so now, you know, once you have created the game, how do you go to, how do you save this game in Microsoft Office? So that is important. So how do you save the game? I will tell you that. Okay, 1 minute. Again, I need to go to Google. So I click Google over here. And here what I do is, okay, I need to share Google screen, Edu Candy. Yes. So what I need to do is, I need to type here office.com. Office.com. The moment I type office.com, I hope you can see the screen, office.com, that I'm typing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So I press enter and automatically I'll be directed to office.com. Okay. So I'm already logged in actually, but if you're not logged in, you can actually go and create an account. Automatically you will be guided. Now let me show you how to do that. Let me log out so that you get an idea of how to log in. So sign out. I click on sign out and I'll show you how to log in. Okay, so this is that Microsoft Office now. So the moment you type myoffice.com, you will be directed to this particular page. So now you have to click on sign in. And once you click on sign in, and then you have to select on work or school account. I recommend work or school account. Click on that. And then, okay, the password is already, okay. So the password is already saved. Actually, if the password is not saved, an option will come create an account. So you have to just click on create an account and you need to create that account. They will ask your name. They will ask you to put in your password. And once you click write your email ID, your name and your password, automatically the account will be created. So once the account is created, you have to log in and you have to sign in. So the moment you sign in, stay signed in. Okay, yes. So the moment you sign in, then you will be directed to this particular page where you can see that I've uploaded all my games over here. So there is an option called upload and open. So if you click on this option upload, you will be immediately directed to either your desktop or downloads, wherever you have saved your game. Suppose you have saved your game in your desktop, you have to click your desktop and then click open. So automatically it will be uploaded. The moment it is uploaded, then you have to click over here, these three dots that you can see. You can click on the three dots, okay, and then you can click on copy link. So when you click on copy link, automatically the link will appear. So you have copied the link, and that link you can save it, or you can actually upload it in your drive. You can create a Word document and upload that link in your drive, so that when you require, you can share the link with your learners, and that is how your game is saved in the cloud. It is safe. There is no problem. In fact, Microsoft Office, gives you, if free of cost, you can actually upload your games in cloud only up to a certain limit. Of course, you cannot upload too many games. Only to a certain limit you can upload the games, but it is useful. I have uploaded many games up till now. There is no problem. You can keep uploading your games. Okay, so this is how you can go ahead with this work. Okay. So now I go to the new share once again. I go to my PowerPoint presentation. And I hope you have understood how you can create your own game using PowerPoint. The difference you must have already understood, the customized games and the PowerPoint games. And now I would like to move on to the next part of this presentation. This is an assignment for you all. So each group will be required to design a game. Your groups are already formed, right? So I want you to design a game discussing with your group, so that you have a better chance of, bringing out the best game. Each group will be required to design a game on the basis of the aspects stated, that is playfulness, competition, then collective thinking, responsible, and being focused. The game should achieve a desired outcome, talking about Bloom's taxonomy, outcome: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. This should be followed by reflective questions. I've already done reflective questions yesterday. So you must have already got the link for those reflective questions, so you get a fair idea of how to incorporate the reflective questions after the game. You are supposed to present your game on 26th November at 5 p.m. Each group will be allotted 10 minutes to present their game. You need to include the following points in your presentation. Please remember this: purpose and desired outcome, very important. Whether it is a teaching game or a testing game, again, it is very important. how the game was created, whether PowerPoint or customized websites, that also you need to tell. The link of the game, I told you how to generate the link of the game. Go to Microsoft Office, create an account, you can upload the game, and then you can click on the three dots. Once the game is uploaded, the picture will be shown. So you can click on the three dots and copy the link. So that is how the link can be created. The link of Google Forms, you will also be creating reflective questions. So I want you to incorporate the reflective questions in Google Form so that you can also generate the link for the Google Forms. And then you can, why am I trying to tell you this is because when you'll be using these games in your class for your learners, you have to incorporate, you have to use the link, you have to give the link to the learners. So you might as well as learn how to create questions in the Google form and create a link as well. So this is what you have to do. And then I would like to come to the concluding part of my presentation today. So if you have any confusion regarding the games, if you have any doubts, if you want to discuss anything related to the games that you will be creating, you are free to call me. This is also my WhatsApp number. You can also send me messages in WhatsApp. So you're free to discuss the games with me at any moment, at any time. There is no problem at all. And then you can also mail your queries to me. This is my mail ID. You can definitely mail your queries to me. There is again no problem. I will respond to your mail. I'll be glad if you have some idea in your mind, but you're not able to implement the idea. So I can help you out how to create your game. Definitely, I'll do that. And then I also have my YouTube channel where you can get an idea of how games can be created, because all the explanation will be given over there. And in fact, today itself, I'll be uploading 2 games in my YouTube channel. So therefore, I would request Dipti Nair Madam to kindly share the link of YouTube. Yes, what you can do is you can also subscribe to my channel, because then you will get notification of any time games I upload, and also how to make the games. I will be giving you the instructions of how to make the games. So this is the end of my presentation. You can take the link of YouTube from the chat box. It is available over there. And today, as I told you, I'll be incorporating 2 games so that you can use it in your for your assignment. As I told you yesterday, that I have a surprise for you today. So I will like to share my surprise actually first, and then I will answer your questions. Okay, this is the surprise I have for you today. This is the addition game that I have created. So first I'll click on the play button. Can you see my screen, all of you? Addition game?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I click on play over here, and then I'm directed to this particular slide, and I click on start. What is 3 plus 4? So you need to type your answer over here. Suppose if I type the answer, correct answer, if I type 7, automatically I have to click here, and automatically the answer is shown as correct. 10 plus 9. Suppose if it is a wrong answer, so automatically it is shown here that the answer is wrong. And this way I can move ahead. So the questions will be generated automatically. I don't have to type the question. So automatically the questions will be generated. So the learners can be very fast. If they move on, they start with the very simple ones and they move on to the more complex ones. A little while ago, one of the participants asked whether a practice game can a practice game be called a testing game? I will say that practice and teaching game are the same. Here, you are trying to teach the learners how to add. You are also trying to enable the learners to practice the game, the addition. Okay, and moreover, it is in the form of a game, so therefore they can play it, to whatever extent, because it is unlimited. Unlimited questions will be generated over here. This same game, you can change it into a subtraction game. You can also change it to a multiplication game. Okay, only thing you have to, but this game is takes the help of coding. It cannot be done with animation. Coding has been used over here. With animation you cannot design this game. This is what I wanted to show you, that if you can use coding also, if anybody knows coding, you can actually incorporate your skills in designing a game. So I click on exit button.